Integrators should bring options over no's. And this is what I mean. Little story. So visionary is my wife in this story. I talk about this at home a lot. We do visionary integrator within the household. And last week we had our fence replaced. So fence goes down. We have a climbing vine on it. It's left on the ground, living, but laying on the ground. And we have to figure out exactly what we're going to do. We didn't plan for it beforehand. And so I said, hey, what do you want to do with this vine? And the first response was just get a hook, hang it on the hook. Now, my initial response was, no, that's not what we should be doing. And the issue with that was in her visionary role, she saw a solution and it was quick, decisive, done, problem solved, don't have to worry about it. I saw immediately the long-term effect of what that was going to do. So my job is not to say no in that scenario. And I did, and it caused tension. So what I did instead is I said, okay, let's leave this. I walked away. I then reevaluated and said, okay, what do I need to do in this situation? Which is rely on my superpower. My superpower is research, options, present, right? So I went out and I said, okay, this is the type of vine that it is. This is what it needs to grow. This is how it's going to climb and do all that kind of things. Here are the options that are in the market, wood lattice, metal lattice, wireframe, all these different pieces. Got a couple of those options. Then I brought that and said, hey, let's take a look at what I've researched, right? Let's take a look at some of these options. Here's the hook option. Here's what happens when you do that in the long-term effects of just hanging a vine like this on a hook. Here's what it is with these different options, and here's how the design looks. Now, immediately there was a shift, right? It wasn't a yes versus no, me versus her. It immediately came in together. Let's discuss design of what we're trying to do. Aesthetically, what do we want it to look like? What do we want the end result to be? Who can do it? We have kids. Should they help? All of these other things started opening up once we had this conversation of here are the options, let's choose from them. Now, obviously, you can take this as a metaphor into business, right? When you have the visionary integrator, maybe there's a problem that comes up, a fire that happens, and there's a quick solution. And maybe it works in the immediate. Right now, that's what our vine is that's hanging on a hook right now while we're still gathering which pieces we want to, how we want to build this. But my job as the integrator is not to immediately shut down the idea of hanging it on the hook or putting out the fire in that immediate way. My role after the fire is, done and solved, the vine's on the fence, I then need to go down, grab that research, explore the options, talk with the team, bring those options back to the visionary and say, hey, here's a couple different ways we can solve this long term. Next time this happens, here's what, how these different issues are going to play out. Then we have that conversation. Visionary integrator, select one. Maybe we bring in people to help with the decision. We choose a decision. Then the integrator goes and executes. So that's how you try to not to default into that no right away, even if that's what you see as the integrator or as the visionary, if that's what you hear. You both need to get into the habit of, hey, why don't you go find me some options? Or, hey, I'm going to bring you some options. So options over no's. That's the takeaway.